Have you ever been in a situation where, you there was somebody in your life that loved you, that complimented you, that even furthermore they even, matched some of your qualities in life, some of your values in life, but you didn't feel a thing, or you felt very little. Yeah, this is more common. Then on the flip side, where you love someone else and then discover that they have the same feelings that you do for someone else. That they love someone else, but they cannot accept your love. It feels in a way dangerous to them, as it feels dangerous to you. And therefore, I feel like it just creates this whole chain. And this is the current culture. The current culture of love is based on not showing that you actually feel something for the person, in the threat that they would, as soon as they find out that they like you, they will sort of disappear, sort of launch, sort of vanish on the spot as soon as you declare any sort of feelings that you have. So, in a way, this also creates a certain repression of your own loving capacities to love, but doesn't stop you. Of course, to love is a very different thing than to be loved. It is diametrically opposite in a way. To love means to look at another person and to benefit them, to give them, to grace them with a certain ambiance of emotionality, a certain dream-like aspect to them. That they are people that just make you feel something, and often or not, these people are unattainable. Yeah, people that we love are usually unattainable. They're unattainable in the sense that look at how intelligent this mechanism is. If this person was attainable, that means that you'd have to actually confront the possibility that you can be loved, that you are lovable. Which again goes back to the question, most people would prefer to love than be loved. Because what does being love really ask of us? It because most of our personalities is built on the foundation where there was no love. And as a consequence, our personality had to adapt to this sort of lack and make itself. There's a whole corpus of propaganda, of personality propaganda that is built up in a way just for you to avoid the confrontation of you actually being lovable. Because that's what it was built to do. It cannot sustain just accepting, because to accept being loved is a certain death of who you are. It is a certain death against this defense that we probably propagate as personality. Because then everything stops. To love means that everything comes to an end and you are just as you are. You're loved for the self that you are, and that's a very different feeling. But on the other hand, to love someone is a certain intoxication. It is a certain laziness also. In a way, when you love someone, you can't you are riding that high. You are much more intoxicated in the feelings, in the emotions. You're much more intoxicated in love than the object, on the subject of your love. You're in a way drunk with all sorts of things that you can project onto the future, their qualities, their little references they made, and you start to imagine a certain reality that probably does not exist. And love is like that. It's not based in reality. You cannot pinpoint and say, this is why I love someone. It is a thing that just comes to you. And this sort of love, I would say, is limerence, where you need not confront the subject of your love and rather love them from the background, out of fear. You see how much fear and the belief that you cannot be loved is such a central part to this mechanism. And I know it's not just me, and I know it's a lot of people who are feeling the exact same thing or exactly in the same position. It's so hard to express love at the same time because there will be repercussions. It's so hard to feel them because that means you would have to eventually accept who you are. So I think there is greater strength ultimately in accepting love. It is a certain letting go, and that you are responsible for having love come in. It's not the other person. I think it'll be a much healthier world if you look at the people that love us and say, I don't know how you're doing this. I don't know why you're doing this, but I will accept your love. I will not run away from it. It's so much more scarier, to accept love than to actually love someone. Loving is easy. As the Mac Miller song says, loving is easy. I actually don't know the rest of the lyrics, but anyway. And I think that is the greater adventure. It is the greater adventure because that's where you have to confront things. That's where there is actually catharsis, not in loving someone. Because to want again is so much easier. To want is free. To give and to give up is expensive. And I think love is that. Love does deserve that sort of importance. And I'm not saying look at the people that you don't love and, start to sort of accept them and not go after people that you love. I'm saying a completely different thing. You'll still be on this. But I feel like to allow love to come in for a little bit will remedy this whole situation in a way. To accept yourself as a lovable human being will remedy the situation where you'll stop projecting so much of your love outside to people that can't see it. They can't see it because you've placed them way high up. They're looking down and that they can see the entire perspective, and you are looking up. You can only see so much when you look up.